Hello students, welcome back. My name Neeraj Partha and this is your physics class. In previous class we are discussing about the transformer. The last topic of the previous class is transformer. What do you mean by the transformer? Transformer is a device which can increase or decrease the voltage as per our requirement. Okay guys, so that is our last topic in a previous video lecture. So students, what is our previous topic? Our last previous topic is a transformer. So guys, now we start our lecture. Now what is the topic of that lecture? First topic is transformer. First topic is a transformer, means it is a device which can increase and decrease our voltage. And everyone students know that whenever we use the high appliances, then the some are different voltage is required. Sometimes our ACs, some air conditioner require the high voltage, and whenever we use the some low devices, that type of devices require the low voltage. So transformer is a useful device to increase and decrease the potential, and you can say voltage. After the potential and transformer, after that completion of the potential, now we are discussing the AC generator, how we can generate the alternating current. Okay students, now after that the next topic is a DC generator. So there are two terms is coming. First one is a AC, second one is a DC. What do you mean by the AC and DC? Every students know that AC is the alternating current. Alternating current. And what do you mean the DC current? That is a direct current, guys. Okay, that is a direct current. What is the phenomena of alternating current and DC current? If we talk about the waveform of alternating current and DC current, that is a alternating current, guys. If you talk about the direct current, so what is the graph of direct current? That is a graph of direct. That is a alternating current and that is a direct current. Okay guys, no. After that we discuss electric motor. What is the electric motor? Every person use that electric motor in many purposes. Sometimes just like a toys of students and toys of some boys and girls, and sometimes we are used that electrical motor to use in a power, just like whenever we require the water at from ground floor to upper floor, then we use the electric motor to gives the energy. The motor gives the energy to a water and it will be moved to higher potential energy and height of that surface, just like a first floor, second floor and third floor. As per our requirement we use the different motor. Okay guys, so we start our topic, that is a transformer. And everyone students know that what is the transformer? It is a device and which can raise and lower the voltage in a AC circuit. Whenever we discuss and whenever we work with the alternating current and alternating circuits, that time the transformer can rise or lower the voltage. What is the construction and what is the behavior of that transformer? It works, first of all, it works on the mutual induction. 8% we are discussing only the word what is the mutual induction. Mutual induction means whenever the one coil, let's suppose that is a one coil and that is a second coil, that time some potential and developed due to a mutual induction of both of them. This term is completely explained in a higher classes, guys, but that time we can consider only the what is the basic mean of that mutually. If there is some current will be flow in that coil and the current will be alternating. If current is alternating, that time magnetic flux will be passes through that coil is also changes. Okay, so due to the changes in that coil, and the flux will be also changes in a secondary coil. So that is a mutual induction, guys. Okay, So what happen in that case? That according to the structure of that transformer, it consists of two coils. We are drawing here the two coils are, let's suppose that is a first coil and one is a second coil. Okay guys, these consist of a two coils wound on the same core, Now we make the same core, means same material. If in your previous some days, if you are break any transformer, that time you get the some wires wound on that coil and get the some L type of strips. Okay, that type of strip is you get whenever you break any small and larger any type of transformer. Okay, and that wound material are used to wound the coil also. Okay, that type of construction is a practical aspects of that transformer. That is a practical points of. After that we talk about the, in that case, source, that primary winding is connected to the source. The primary, that is called the primary winding. The primary winding is connected to a source, and secondary winding, means these winding, that is called a primary, and primary is connected to the source, means which is our energy source. Okay, and the secondary coil is connected to our load, just like our motor, just like our requirement, any one place whenever you use it. Okay, now so that is a load, point. Okay guys, so now that is a construction, that is a one type is a secondary. The output is connected with a secondary coil, and input, that is called source, is connected to a primary coil. Okay guys, now move to next point and look which was the what we completely fast. Now that is a battery and that is a conductor. Okay guys, whenever we required any battery, then that battery provides some current will be flow in a one direction, that is a I1 direction. Okay, when the switch is on, the battery is connected to a conductor, then current will be flowing start from that direction to that direction. And every students know that whenever the current will be flow in that direction, so what happen, around that coil a magnetic field will be produced. And nearby conductor, the flux will be changes continuously, and and a current will be induced in that conductor, and galvanometer will be deflect. Okay guys, we change the direction. Let's see guys, when we change the direction of that battery, the supply current direction is also changes. When the direction of current is changes, so induced current is also changes in that case. If you compare the previously and that case, then both the time the direction of current is changes. Okay guys, let's see. In that case, galvanometer reading will be move in a left hand side. In previous case, galvanometer reading will be right hand side. Let's see the practical diagram of a transformer. That is a first coil, that is a primary coil, and this is a secondary coil guys. That is a first, primary, and second one is a secondary, and that is a core. Guys, in which we wound the complete winding of secondary and primary. Let's see. Okay guys, by using that is called a metallic core. And practically we use the strip just like a L-shape strips to make that metallic core. Okay guys, understand that what is the transformer. Okay guys, now we move to next point, the what is the some basic information about that transformer. What is that? Let's see guys, whenever the current is passing through the primary coil, current will be passes through in a primary coil, then what happen guys, primary coil creates a continuous changing the flux through the core. When the current is passing through that coil, then what happen guys? Then current changes polarity continuously, plus minus minus plus. That time the magnetic flux linked with that core is changes continuously. So due to that reason, the changing flux induce alternating EMF in a secondary coil. The changing flux induce the alternating current, that is called EMF, electromotive force, in the secondary coil, in that secondary coil. Mean if there is a changes in that current, that is a supply voltage, that time the secondary coils produce the EMF, that is the electromotive force, just like a voltage. Okay, that is a polarity of that voltage, that is a positive and negative. So guys, what a magnetic line of force are closed curves, are a closed curve, all are be in that case, that is a closed curve guys. Now the flux per ton of a primary must be equal to the flux per ton. Means let's suppose there are 5 Weber flux in a each ton, so that is a 5 Weber per ton is equivalent to 5 Weber per ton for a secondary coil. So that is an important condition guys. The flux, why that condition is fulfilled? Because the magnetic field lines for the both the coils is same. If there are 100 flux will be passes from that coil, so 100 flux will be passes also that coil, because it is a closed curve. Magnetic field lines are a closed curve. Closed means, that means guys, means 100 number of curves, 100 number of magnetic field lines is start from that point, so 100 number of will be passes through the secondary coil also. So the number of flux per ton of a primary must be equal to the flux per ton of a secondary coil. Understand that? Now we use that concept. Now let's suppose in a primary that is a phi p, and in a secondary that is a phi s, flux passing through the primary and secondary coil, and we are writing the np and ns, that is a number of turns. np is a np and ns, number of turns, already mentions number of turns in secondary coil, in a secondary coil. Okay guys, now in a np is a number of turns in a primary coil. So if according to our statement, if the ratio of secondary flux in a secondary coils and divided by a number of turns in a secondary coil is equal to flux in a primary coil and divided by number of turns in a primary coil. Okay guys, so that is a concept behind the transformer, how to transformer is work, how to maintain the voltage, and that is a basic rule for a transformer. What is the rule? Is that flux per turns is equals to, in a primary is equals to secondary. Okay guys, so after that we move some more derivation of that. We know that phi s upon ns is equals to phi p upon np. If we talk about the some time period also, then we divide the time period in both the terms. The del t is the time period, means if you start the 0 then it is a t, if you start the t1 then t2 minus t1 for particular time period. Okay, so if we talk about that time period, rate of the flux changes per turns, so phi s and phi ns is already mentioned, and we divide the time also here, time also divided into parts. Okay, that time we use that concept. Why? In that case, dear students, what is the mean of that phi s upon phi t and phi s upon ns? What do you mean by that? It provides the EMF. We know that E is equals to del phi by del t. Everyone students know that del phi upon del t becomes the EMF produced and applied voltage guys. So we use that concept here. So in that case, If we talk about the phi s upon del t, so it becomes es upon E and S. What do you mean by the ES? That is a voltage in a secondary coil, and NS number of turns in a secondary coils is equivalent to phi p upon del t, that is a potential in a primary upon number of turns in a primary coil. Okay guys, understand that concept? So we use that concept here. Everyone know that EMF produced in a circuit, in any circuit, that is equivalent to phi by T, change in a flux upon time. Okay, now for an ideal transformer, ideal means there is a no loss guys, but practically there is a no ideal transformer. Just like to understand the concept, we are just using that word. What do you mean by the ideal transfer? Ideal means nothing is ideal in that case. Means there is a no ideal case. Many time, every time in 1 and 2 and 3 losses is every time present. No one have a 100% efficiency. No one having a 100% efficiency. Any transfer doesn't have any 100% efficiency. Okay. So what do you mean by the ideal transformer? In the ideal transformer, there is a no loss of power. So what is the formula of power? In electricity, you know that power is equals to potential into current. And that power is constant. If there is a no loss, that means power is always constant. If there is a no loss guys, that time the given power and the input power and output power is always equal. According to that concept, the input power IP, that is for input, and POP, that is for output. We are writing the complete input given by the source and output taken by the load. Okay. So if there is a no losses guy, that means input power is completely equivalent to output power. That means there is a no loss. So one concept arises here. So P is equals to VI. You can write the EI is always constant. If that quantity is constant, that time we derive the one more expression. So what happened in that expression? That potential for a secondary coil upon potential for a primary coil is equivalent to, we know that is equivalent to NS upon NP. But by using that concept, the power constant, we can derive the one more concept, that is a IP upon IS. I for current, P for primary, I for current, or S for secondary. Current in a primary coil, current in a secondary coil. So what do you mean by that? Now erase all the expression and we are explaining that terms. According to that concept, power for a primary is equivalent to power for a secondary. So if we talk about the power for primary and current for primary is equivalent to voltage for a secondary and current for a secondary. So now make that relation, ES upon EP. So if we make that relation, so we get ES upon EP, that is a secondary coil voltage, that is a primary coil voltage, it equivalent to IP upon IS. What is the IP and IPS? What guys? So I for P in P is a current in a primary coil, current in primary coils, primary coil. Similarly, if we talk about the IS, that is a current in a secondary coil, secondary coil. Whenever we use that sign, that means the same word is coming here. So guys, now next, so that expression will become, which principle is behind that expression and which logic behind that expression? That is a power is always constant. Power is always constant. Okay guys, I hope you understand that what is the transformer, what is that device, how to it work, and how you can calculate the voltage, input voltage and output voltage. Now there are two possibilities on behalf of a number of turns. If number of turns will be increases, there are two conditions, which that is primary and secondary. If we increase the number of turns in a primary, then what happen, guys? Let's suppose that is a primary coil, okay, and that is a secondary coil. So in a primary coil, the supply voltage is a ES, and secondary coil output is a ES, and that is a P. It is a P. That is a primary and that is a secondary. Okay. Now, if we talk about the number of turns, then what happen? That is number of primary and number of secondary. In previously, we know that what is the relation between the ES EP is equal to NS NP. ES upon EP is equals to NS NP. If number of turns in a secondary, let's suppose we get the value of one relation, we make the 2 turns for a secondary and 1 turn for a primary. So what the result of that, guys? Secondary is equals to 2 times of a primary. So when we increase the number of turns in a secondary, means number of turns is increases as compared to primary, number of turns in a secondary is high, that time we get the voltage higher than the primary. So we get, if we are applying the 5 voltage here, that time we get the result, that is a 10 voltage, because of a there is a 2 time multiple of a primary. So that is a relation based on a number of turns. So now we explain the one by one, what is the mean of that. First of all, we raise that. So first line is say that when the number of turns in a secondary, when the number of turns in a, so that is the first point, guys. If number of turns in a secondary is higher than the number of turns of a primary, that time it will be increase the voltage. If you are applying the 2 volt, then we get the higher than 2 volt. Depends on the number of, how much number of turns will be increases as compared to primary. Okay. So that is called step up transformer. Is up the your transform up the voltage. So that is called step up transformer. Okay, guys. Now, second point is that step down transformer. Step down transformer. What do you mean by the step down transformer? Is that case of behind the step down, if the number of turns in a secondary is low as compared to primary, that time you can say that is a step down transformer. But dear students, in a previous slide we studied that power is always constant. Power is always constant. And power is equivalent to voltage multiplied by current. If we talk about that is a primary case and that is a secondary case. Okay. We are applying the 5 watt. 5 watt, that is a power, guys. That is a power. So how you can get the power of 5? We change that value. Let's suppose we are having a 6 watt power. Okay. So how you can get the power 6? If 3 is voltage and 2 is current. So we are writing here with the column, that is voltage, that is current. If according to a step up and step down, we increase the voltage. If we use the step up transformer, then what is the voltage and what is the current? So if you increase the voltage, guys, so what happens? 3 will be increases, that time we make the 4. Okay. But the current is decreases. Why? Because we want to the product of a voltage, and that current is always 6. Always 6. So the current will be decreases by 2. So that 2 ampere current will be decreases, and after that we get the value of 6. Okay, so let's suppose that is become a 3 by 2, 1.5. When the it current will be decreased, then it cancel out to 2 time, again we get the 6. So that is the reason behind that. If the power is constant and you are increases and we are using, let's suppose we are using a step up transformer, that what happen, then voltage will be increases but current will be decreases, but product is always constant, means power is always constant. In that case power is a 6 watt, and also in secondary case power is again 6 watt. So power is each and every cases are constant. So but there are one quantities is changed. If voltage increases, then current will be decreases. If voltage will be decreases, then current will be increases, and product is always constant. Understand guys that point? Now a step up and step down, that is the input power of an electric source, and that is a transfer, and that is the output. This wave is also sinusoidal and this wave is also sinusoidal. Let's see that carefully. What happen when the transformer is work just like a step up and down. When first of all we use just a input voltage, and when we down the voltage, so what happen in a step down transformer, the voltage will be down. The voltage of that sign and voltage of that sign will be decreases. But what happen guys, let's see that guys, in that case guys, the potential current in that case is a low and the current in that case is high, that is a step down. Now what happen in a next case, the next case power is always constant. If there is a step up and there is a step down, that time changes is a vice versa. If voltage increases, then current will be decreases. If the voltage decreases, then current will be increases. Okay guys, I hope you understand then what is the step up and step down. I will play the again that video, please see carefully guys. Input voltage is higher than the output voltage, but the current is reverse, so why? Because power is always constant, so understand that concept guys. Now we move to next. If it can increase or decrease either voltage or current, but not both simultaneously, because we know that power is always constant guys. Understand that point? Okay. Now next topic is a AC generator, alternating current generator. Alternating current generator means these generator provide the current and voltage in the form of a sinusoidal, not a constant voltage. Okay, and in our houses we always use the alternating current, but the batteries are providing always direct current. Okay guys, now this device which convert the mechanical energy into a electrical energy, means we are providing as a source, that is a mechanical, as a food of that generator is a mechanical energy, just like a mechanical power. Okay, and it convert that mechanical energy into electricity, just like a light, AC, all are based on a electrical instrument. Okay guys, so that is a basic thing behind the AC generator. It uses, and what is the food of that generator? That is a mechanical energy. And what is the output of that generator? Is a electrical energy. Okay guys, now so it is based on a principle of a electromagnetic induction. What do you mean by the electromagnetic induction? Everyone know that, every student know about the electromagnetic induction. When the flux will be changes in any conductor, that time EMF, that is the electromotive force, is a develop here. Okay, now there are AC generator, when a coil and conductor is rotated, let's suppose there is a coil and a conductor is rotated in a magnetic field, that time magnetic flux linked with that coil is changes continuously. Therefore, a alternating electromotive force is developed and produced by that coil. Okay guys, so that is a basic information regarding a AC generator. Next point is a first thing, construction of a AC generator. First point is a field magnet. What is the field magnet? The magnet used in a generator. Let's suppose there are two types of a magnet. We are using a two poles, just like a north and just like a south, and between them we are rotate the coil. We are rotating the coil. We are describe the complete thing about that. So in that case, what is the field magnet? That magnet is a field magnet. Okay guys. Second point, armature. What is the armature? That is a soft iron core on which that is mentioned, the name is ABCD. Large number of turns insulated the copper wire. So that is the armature in which the copper wire is wound. That is called the armature. And between it is placed between the two magnetic poles, that is the north and south. Okay. Now, slip rings. Slip rings are used to produce the electric current in the form of alternating form. Let's see the end of the armature in a previous diagram, that is the ending of that armature. Let's see, that is the ending of the armature is connected to two coaxial metallic slip rings, just like a cylinder form, just like a cylindrical form. It will be connected to a, we are drawing the two different slip rings. Okay, by using that slip rings we are getting the alternating current. Whenever we discuss about the DC generator, that time we discuss that and we focus on that point. The slip rings is replaced by some commutators, by other device, other point, other part of that machine, that is called commutators. Okay, so next time we will focus on that point. Next one is the brushes. When the current is produced by that magnetic coils, and then here a point is used, that is called a carbon brushes. Carbon brushes are used to guide the current continuously. Two brushes B1 and B2 made of a carbon press against the slip rings. Against the slip rings. Okay guys. Now all are clear. Slip rings represented by S1 and S2. The external circuit, that is called load, just like a bulb, AC, anything else, is connected between the other end. The brushes B1 and B2 do not rotate along with the coils. It is not rotate along with the coils. It is a fixed position. It having a fixed position. Let's see the complete thing which is discussed in a previous slide. All things. What happened guys? That is a armature. That is a armature. Let's see that is a slip rings. That is a cylindrical surface, and that is a carbon brush guys. That is a carbon brushes, or it is not rotated. It is always touch with that slip rings. Okay. Now, how the AC generator is work? Whenever we are rotate that coil, whenever we rotate that coil, then what happen guys? When we rotate that coil, that is a magnetic field behind between them. Let's see, north and south, north and south, and the magnetic core will be rotate in that between that circle. So what happen? What is the direction of a magnetic field lines? What is the direction? North to south. That is a north to south. So what happen guys, when that coil will be move upward direction? In that case, when you see that blue line, that shows the magnetic core will be move the upward direction. Move upward direction. So what is the direction of a EMF induced current? So that time you discuss, that is a north sound, and the magnet will be move inside. Then that time the current will be move in that direction. In that direction. Okay guys. When the core is move in upward direction, that time current direction is that. You can find the direction of current by the using of Fleming left hand rule. Similarly, when the core, that side of core is move in downward direction, then direction of current is that. So when the core will be changes that position, when the core is changes that position, it will become that direction and it will become then that direction. Inversely, both that time, in that case the direction of current is that, and in that case that. When the rotation is complete and half rotation will complete, the direction will be changes. So due to that direction changes, we getting the wave sometime positive, sometime negative current. Okay, so that is a negative and that is a positive. Okay guys, so that is the reason behind that, how you can get the alternating current by changing the rotation of that armature. That time when the armature is rotate continuously by Fleming left hand rule, that time one time the direction of current right hand side and second time the current of that current is a left hand side in a half cycle. That will be complete changing the direction in a half cycle guys. Now next one is a DC generator, and you can say DC dynamo, just like a AC dynamo. It provides the electricity and voltage in the form of constant supply. DC means a constant, that is a direct current. Okay, and it is not harmful and it having a low voltage also. Okay, so direct current, that is a DC generator produce a direct current. What is the graph between the direct current? If we talk about the graph, that time you can mark that graph is a direct current, that is called the DC. Okay guys, that is a graph of a direct current. Let's see guys, what is the changes in a AC generator and DC generator. In a AC generator, when we talk about the AC generator, then we focus the slip rings, but in that case the slip rings are changes and replaced by the two things, that is a commutator. Let's see that commutator, that is a commutator guys. What is that? That is a split ring commutator, just like a half C. That is a C and that is a shape of a commutator. Okay, okay guys, that is a commutator. That is the basic difference and most important difference between the AC generator and a DC generator. We are talking about that also in the working, how it will work. Okay guys, so that is a diagram and all are the things same. That is a magnetic pole. In a previous we are discussing the horseshoes magnet, and that is a that type of magnets. Okay, all are same thing guys, that is a armature and current will be flow, and that is our supplying pair only. So how it will be work, it will be discussed in the next slide guys. Okay, please wait for 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, next one is a some basic difference between a AC generator and a DC generator. So what is the difference between them guys? You are seeing that video, and that video shows the complete working of that generator, and just like a same for a motor also. Okay, now we discuss the difference between a AC generator and DC generator. What is the difference? In a DC generator guys, we connect the two end of the coil, the commutators. That is a basic and important difference, consists of a two half ring of copper. But in a AC generator we are using a slip rings. We are using a slip rings. Okay, and a DC generator we are using a commutator. That is a half coil, just like a half. Okay. What is the electric motor? What is the electric motor guys? Everyone know about that. What is the every time, sometime whenever you are facing some project at your home and at your school time, that time you are handling that motor, and DC motor and AC motor. AC motor available at home and DC motor used in a just small projects also and large project also. Okay guys, in a robotics most of the time the motors are used in a for a school life and the some engineering college life. That time you are discussing the electric motor most of the time, and mechanical engineering students most of the time discuss that motor also. Okay, high power motor and low power motor, 1 rpm, 2 rpm, thousand of rpm are available, guys. Okay, so what do you mean the rpm? Round per minute. Okay, now, so motor is a device which converts electric energy into a mechanical energy. Means the motor required, just like a food, everyone required the food, so motor required the food in the form of electrical energy and gives the output in the form of a mechanical energy. Okay, guys, by using a mechanical energy we can do a many work. Okay, now, so it is also the circuit diagram and the construction almost same. There are some differences also available. Electrical motor has a shaft and a spindle. Just if you see the motors at home, that time a rod will be coming out from that side, just like any some cooler fan, just cooler fans. Okay, now the rotation of its shaft is used to drive the various type of machine. Everyone know that when we use the shaft and we use the rubber on that two shaft. Let's see, guys, let's suppose that is a one and that is a second part. If we rotate that shaft continuously and we arrange, if we arrange any setup by that rubber, by that any belt, you can say the belt, so what happen, you are rotating only that part and that part is also rotate. This phenomena is used by using a motor also. Okay, guys, now let's point what is the working principle of that motor, how to motor is a working and how to motor work, what is the principle behind that. All questions is given, all answer is available, is that in a single word, single line, that is its work on a magnetic effect of a current. Magnetic effect of current. What do you mean by the magnetic effect of current? It means whenever you are provide the current to any coil, that time a mechanical energy, it applied the some forces and rotate the coils also. So that is a magnetic effect of a current. Okay, guys, now that is a some motors, everyone know about that. That is a some DC motor, school time motors. Okay, and that is a some higher motor available at your homes also. So that is a part of that, some outputs part and for a safety device, and that is a some point for starter, just like a bearing to moving a shaft motion without any noise, bearing. Okay, and that is a some internal part of the structure, commutators and the brush assembly. So complete part, that is a assembly, and that is a armature also. Okay, that is a some other part, guys. Outward part is all are the output part, means for a safety device. Okay, and that is a starter. Okay, just to provide the high energy at a time. Commutator is available at that point. Okay, so these are the some pictures for a electric motor. Now we discuss how to work electric motor. Now the working of that motor is almost same DC generator, that is a motor, guys. Okay, let's see that carefully, guys. Working of a electrical motor, these are the two poles, north pole and a south pole. Okay, now we start that video. So everyone is explained one by one, that is that part is called the armature, that part is called the armature, and that is a one is a south pole, second one is a north pole, and commutator segment, all things will be explained one by one. Okay, guys, let's see carefully. And current is moving continuously, the minus sign represent the current direction, the minus means that is a blue line, is shows the passing of a current. When the current is passing through any conducting wire, that time it if and it is placed between the magnetic field, that time it applied the forces, that time it produced the force. Let's see, guys, continuously we are showing that how the force is work. And that armature is start to rotate. Whenever we start my current, then armature will be start to rotate. Let's see, the armature is start rotate due to the applied force. One point of the armature is upward and one is a downward, so it will be start to rotate. How to apply the Fleming left hand rule? Let's see continuously. That is a magnetic field, that is a direction of current, and that is a upward direction. Thumb shows the direction of forces. If the magnetic field in that direction, in that condition, there is a north and south, and that is a north and south, and current will be flow in that direction. So direction of force in that part, that is a upward. So direction of force is a upward. Now focus on second point. In the second point, direction of magnetic field is same, but the direction in that direction, direction of current is that, but in that part direction of current is that. So direction will be that. So what is the direction of force in that part? In that part, direction of force is a downward part. Okay guys, understand that how you can apply the Fleming left hand rule. Okay, let's see continuously. So I hope you are understand that what is the working and how the work is completed by a electric motor. That what is the difference between a AC and DC generator and motor? AC generator and DC motor. First point is that the generator is a device which converts the mechanical energy into electrical energy. We are provide the mechanical energy and gives the energy. If that motor is available most of the time in a providing the sources and the generator and the some powerhouses, in that mechanical energy is provided by the hydropower plant. Just like in a hydropower plant, energy is provided in the form of is first of all water converted into the steam, and that high pressure steam provide the on the blades of that turbine, and when turbine will be rotate, and that time electricity will be generated. In an electric motor, and that is called DC motor, it get the electrical energy and provide the mechanical energy to work anything. It work on the principle of electromagnetic induction. It works force acting on a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic. Whenever the current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, that time force is applied. In a generator, the mechanical energy is used to rotate the armature coil in a magnetic field so as produce the electrical energy. Okay, mechanical energy means the external mechanical energy given to that generator is used to rotate the armature. In a DC motor, electrical energy is provided by a DC source and flow the current in an armature coil, and when the current will be flow in the coil, then it will start to rotate in a magnetic field and apply the forces. Generator make use of the 2-axle slip rings. Most important point guys, in that generator slip rings is used, in that case commutator is used. Okay guys, so in that case our topic is complete. So guys, that is assignment time. Write down the question on your copy fast. First question is generator converts the mechanical energy into. Choose the right answer. After that, the next question is a DC motor converts electrical energy into. Choose the correct answer of that. Next two questions is a deflection in a galvanometer. When the position of a magnet is fixed, but that coil will be moving in a right hand side, means moving to away that pole. So what is the direction of that deflection? And next and last question for you, the effect of using split rings in a simple DC motor. What is the effect? Okay guys, we are explaining all the points in that video lecture. Okay guys, now the time to thank you so much guys.